I grew up in Beverly. I was raised by my grandmother and my mother, and I'm the oldest of my brother and I. I used to come home to my grandmother. She would, make me lunch, do my hair, read me stories, teach me how to cook. Basically, she was like my angel, my rock, and I really love her. Then there was my mother, who was also a very good woman, and she had her own struggles. She was an alcoholic, so she drank, and so I grew up with a mother that was, different all the time, and I had to adjust to those different, what was I coming home to? But my mother never got married to my father. He, I think, left before I was born or shortly thereafter. My girlfriend, her father had MS and he was in a wheelchair, and he used to get picked up every single Sunday by the van and get taken to church. And he had his Bible in his wheelchair, and he was he had something real on the inside. He had a faith, he had a strength, he had a light in his eyes, and I knew there was something different about him. And I wanted what he had, so I asked him one day, even though we were stealing his cigarettes, sneaking boys in, like drinking, all that stuff, getting in trouble, back talking, like doing whatever we want, like unruly, undisciplined children. One day I said, "What is it like with you? Like, what is going on?" He's like, "You have to ask Jesus to come into your heart." I was like, "What do you mean? He's like, "It's called being saved." I was like, "Okay, I want to be saved." And he made it sound so simple. He's like, "Just say a little prayer that you want Jesus to come into your heart, and that's it." And so I did. Yeah. And I believe that did save me, because I was 12 years old, and until I was like 26, I lived a very, very dangerous, active lifestyle. And I was just like my mother, you know what I mean? And it got worse. There was always like that line in the sand that I drew. I was like, "Oh, I'll never do that." And then I did it, and then I drew the line out further. "I'll never do that." So I just kept on seeing this, and it was getting worse and worse. And I was just hanging out with the wrong crowd, and I was part of that wrong crowd. And I was in Arizona, I had my last drunk there, and it wasn't much different, like, all the same scenarios. And the next day, I was at the pool feeling really bad, because I really wanted to feel better and like have success, and I just couldn't do it. And I was reading it, and all of a sudden, I believe I got a vision. So the vision was that I had a choice. I could go this way on the path, or I could go this way. It was like a fork in the road. And if I went this way, I almost knew what was going to happen, and I saw me with a needle hanging out of my arm. But if I went down the other path, I didn't know what was going to happen. And I decided to take the chance and have a little faith and just go down this path, and I didn't know, but it didn't feel so dark. You know what I mean? It was like a complete blank canvas. So I came home, and I went to an AA meeting, and I started to meet people, and I had the ability to hear the message. And along that path, I saw that there was a God. I believed there was a God, because I wasn't drinking, and I didn't have the power to do that. I knew I didn't have the power to stay stopped, because I had tried many times in many different ways, and I never could stay stopped. So I knew that God was helping me with this, and He removed the obsession to drink. The most thing I can tell you is that I don't feel alone, and no matter what happens in my life, good, bad, or indifferent, I have like an inner strength and a knowingness that I'm going to be okay. And you can't buy that. You can't manufacture that. And I was all searching everywhere for a church, because I had never really done that, and I wanted to check it out, and I really did want to read the Bible, just like when I was little. I wanted to learn more about who this man was. What are they telling us? Is there truth? And I wanted to learn. And I ended up finding and becoming a member of the church that was like in my backyard, the Nazarene. Participating in Bible studies and triads and one-on-ones and fellowshipping and service work and small groups and different things like that. And it was just amazing. And I learned so much, so fast. I went through a breakup. I was going to get married, and we were in the church together, active. It was great. And then when we broke up, instead of me running to the church and having help or support or understanding, I retreat, like I go away. And then all of a sudden, God was calling me back, like big time. And it was so strong and so obvious. So what happened was I ended up in Netcast because I had heard, obviously, that there was going to be a new church. I want to be baptized because I feel like this is time for me to do it. It's long overdue, and it's been stirring in my heart. I want to announce that God dwells in me. I have a relationship with Jesus Christ. He saved me when I didn't deserve to be saved, and He keeps giving me life every single day, and I'm grateful for that.